I'd say around fifth grade, became like this raging animal activist.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never gonna eat an animal,
Yeah.
and I haven't.
That's
Besides mealworms, I've eaten mealworms, but that's it.
on purpose?
Yes.
When and why? That's one thing I don't think I could ever eat, like a live wriggling grub.
I think you could do it.
It would.
I think you've eaten more peculiar things.
I suck at dancing. That's like one of my fears. Like I'd rather go into a tub of ice water than go show people how I dance. Good. She knew what she was doing out there. So all I did was I did that thing where you just hold her and she spins and she comes back. So it looked like I knew what I was doing for that part. Yeah, I was saying bongiero, which is not even anything. And so it's like
there is nothing keeping those cats in. It's like a fence, like you would see out like a baseball field.
If I were to be religious, that is my religion, like being connected to nature, you know what I mean? That's like how I live my life. So like yeah.
Have you thought about Thailand?
The grizzly bears were like 20 pounds, but they still had...
I did that with black bears.
Oh, nice. How am I not surprised? What else have you worked with? Tigers, lions.
Okay.
Just caring for... Dude, that eagle photo that you sent, the bald eagle, where you were just holding it.
Yeah. That was cool.
You're not sharing everything with us. That you...
It's just reminding me of when you're like, just like picking up snakes. It's like, that reminds me of like our night hike that we did, like on the first night.
Got a vinyl record player.
What are you listening to?
I'll show you right here.
Literally you.
Yeah.
Project is so Sadat.
Him and his group never returned from the Amazon.
So what I'm hearing is that you and I should go try to find him in the Amazon.
We would need to train our bushcraft skills for like five years straight.
We can.
Okay, for sure. The confidence will help, but I want to get some virality, you know.
TikTok?
Yeah, so I do have a TikTok. One second.
Who else have you... Recording in progress. Yeah. Who else have you had the podcasts for?
So I did 5 people so far, and 3 of them were Miami University students. Yeah, so Steven, Megan, and Ashley.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been like good to just learn how to get past the technical issues with those first 3 conversations. And then I'm doing Heather and Jacqueline doing podcasts with them next week.
Dude, that's gonna be cool.
I know. You're in your house right now?
I am.
Okay, nice. The background kind of reminds me of your photo with the viper enclosure. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, the Gaboon Viper. Yeah.
That's still crazy.
I actually went back to Zimbabwe for this. Went into the Gaboon Viper enclosure.
Dang, you didn't have to do all that. I'm just kidding. I don't have any...
Is this like on your laptop or like your computer? Because your picture is so clear.
It's on my MacBook. It's like a newer MacBook, so it's probably the webcam technology in it is better. But yeah, I got this MacBook just for video editing. I got it for like to make it a video editing machine because of all the hours of footage I have to edit on here. I'm not surprised the webcam is pretty good.
Oh, good.
I mean, yours is pretty... I mean, it's good, too. What computer is yours?
This is a Lenovo. I don't know. I got it at the start of the pandemic when everything went virtual because my laptop is dying.
Yeah. I can't do anything that's not Apple anymore because of too many bad experiences of, like, my computer's crashing, just not working properly. Now I'm just, like, an Apple fanatic.
So you recommend?
Oh, yeah. If you're not a fan of problems with technology, you should go into Apple. Like, just fully make everything Apple. It's just your life will be simpler.
That's all I can do it.
Yeah. So I was literally like typing in my bullet points for what I wanted to talk to you about. So far,
I'm so sorry that I can literally leave and come back.
No, I like it when my podcasts are more natural and where it's just like a more natural flow to the conversation. So we can start off by talking about our trip, which still seems crazy. Like, it all seems like a dream, like the entire trip, like that it all happened.
How long are your podcasts normally?
The shortest one so far was 49 minutes, and then The longest one was 3.5 hours. Yeah, so it's just like however it goes.
Okay.
So like, okay, so I told you the three people that um, I did were Miami University students, and the other two, I still can't believe it. They were two farmers with like large internet presences. One of them was Mark McCafe from Raw Farm USA. He's like the owner of Raw Farm USA. And so I just emailed him one day and I was like, yeah, I'm a master's in biology student. Would you like to do a podcast interview with me? And they emailed back and I'm like, what the heck? Okay, let's do it. He has like 64,000 followers on Instagram.
Dude,
And
that's incredible.
I know. And then the other guy is even bigger internet presence than Mark McCafe, and that guy's Will Harris. Will Harris is a farmer in Bluffton, Georgia. So he has been on the biggest podcasts. Like he's been on Joe Rogan. He's been on like news media stuff, and that one was I was legit nervous for. I was like, holy crap, what do I even say? But I have it. I have it all recorded, and it's like saved on my laptop. I just have to like edit it and post it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I'm about to do a big channel revamp. So my channel right now, Wild Primal, I want to focus on like wildlife and like wild places on that channel. And I want to make another channel called Eating Wild. And that'll be about like the farm animals and like eating healthy and stuff. Because I just don't want to mix the two. I've been having issues trying
That's
to merge,
cool.
yeah, the two of them. And yeah, so the trip, in case we'll just tell them that the viewers where we went. So we flew into Rio de Janeiro, our group of students, and we were there doing conservation work with Miami University. And I mean, every day was really different. We did different type of conservation work all throughout the 11 days that we were doing it.
Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed the biological facility that we stayed at, and like what was that called? It was near CPRJ, where we were staying in the cabins.
The farm,
Not the farm. The farm
or
I
before
loved.
that?
Yeah, I love the farm. Like right after we left the hotel, I just love the area because I would open my doors and
It
you'd
was
see.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was nuts. I could see like galaxies at night. Like there were so many stars, you could even see a little bit of like the wisps of like a galaxy or something. I don't know much about the solar systems, but I saw like
Incredible.
yeah, blue fading wisps in the sky, and then obviously the stars were just dense. It was crazy. It reminded me of Yellowstone.
That's so cool. I did not look up at all. I
Oh
was
yeah.
looking at the ground.
I mean, I sacrificed sleep to do all that. Not that I had a choice because of all the snoring going on in our cabin. Dude, I could literally hear snoring as I was standing outside looking at the stars. It went through the walls.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. But, and then Steven, I'm so glad Steven was there because he just let me use his earplugs. He let me use his spare charger. He let me just like, he was lending me a lot of things. I'm like, dude, I owe you
What a
one.
guy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's like the cool older cousin.
He's awesome. And I'm waiting for him to like come back to Michigan just to like hang out. Because he's originally from here. Speaking of Michigan, this weekend I'm going to northern Michigan. I'm driving 3 hours north, and I'm going to be staying at a farm. The owner, her name's Wendy, so she's letting me basically stay at her farm and record as much as I can in the span of the one night that I'll be there. And then I'm coming back and I'm trying to patch together a short film about her farm because it's yeah, it's a cool opportunity.
Do you have an Instagram for your YouTube channel?
Mm-mm. Not yet, but I want to. I
Are you
want to
going
get
to?
yeah, I want to get it all. I want to get Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, why not? But first I want to get some
You
virality,
gonna
you
do
know.
TikTok?
Yeah, so I do have a TikTok, but I haven't posted in a minute. Um, TikTok's intimidating with all the different technology options. It's like
You got it.
these filters
No,
and
you know how to edit. You got it.
okay, yeah. I'm sure I can get the hang of it. But I don't even know like what I would actually I got some ideas. I found some TikTokers that have like animal pages. So I got some inspiration from them. They're just like talking about yep. See, I posted like ages ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is sick.
Yeah, it's cool how some of them go kind of viral like out of nowhere. Like I was expecting these to get like 2 views, you know. It's more virality than YouTube.
2020 is the last time you posted?
Yeah. I don't like short form stuff that's so attention grabbing, you know. But
Got you.
like I'm the type of guy that reads books, which is the opposite of TikTok in terms of media. I'm reading Elephant Whisperer right now.
How is it?
It's good.
Like, what do you think of it?
It just recently got super interesting. The chapter I'm on, it just turned into like a holy shit situation because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot of like betrayal going on. It seems like I'm reading a story that was like crafted to be entertaining, but all this happened at the Tula Tula Reserve in Africa.
I have the book and my mom read it.
Hmm.
And so it's like with my books to read.
Yeah, I
So
have
I'm
so many of
excited.
those. Yeah. Are you reading anything right now?
Just like a little murder mystery.
Hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, reading is it gets overwhelming because it's like you want to read this much stuff, but you can only read
Yeah,
like you can't read that many books, and like even in a month I'm at about like a book a month pace. Um,
same.
yeah.
I'm like taking a break from like my heavier stuff. I read Jane Goodall's newest book. That was the one I read like right before we went to Brazil.
Hmm.
And I was like, I just need like a little light, fun one.
Yeah. I like to switch it up too because if I'm only reading nature books, it just gets like it gets kind of like the same thing too repetitive. So I'll jump into like fantasy, some George Martin or like some science fiction. Uh, I got another book that is on hold for me at my local library. It's called The Lost City of Z. So I really want to read that. It's about Percy Fawcett, the British explorer who went missing in the Amazon rainforest, and it's crazy because he was a very hardcore guy. Like nobody would have thought that he would have been killed in the Amazon or swallowed up by the Amazon, but he did, and we never found his body. So we to this day we have no idea what happened to him. Him and his group never returned from the Amazon. It's crazy.
Yee. I
Yeah,
like
it is.
it.
It is so spooky. They went in there trying to find El Dorado, the city made of gold. It was like a folk
Yeah.
tale that there's a city made of gold inside the heart of the Amazon, and Europe was very keen on finding it, so they were sending in explorers, and Percy Fawcett was their main guy. Like if anyone were to find the city of gold, it would have been Percy Fawcett. But yeah, he got swallowed up, him and his team, and then they sent search expeditions to try and find him, and those expeditions they sent like hundreds of them. Out of the hundred or so expeditions they sent trying to find Percy Fawcett, like half of them didn't return. So it's just like they were getting swallowed up too, where it was just say like they just stopped looking for him because people were dying by the dozens trying to find him. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when humanity realized how insane the Amazon is. Like, it's just like this big green monster sort of thing. Like, it's a bunch of life forms encompassing the one huge green organism that will swallow you up if you go in too deep. I'm
So
think
what I'm hearing is that you and I should go try to find him in the Amazon.
I would need some training first, but yeah, we would need to train our bushcraft skills for like five years straight.
We haven't.
Okay, for sure. The confidence will help, but oh my gosh, I'm so terrified of mainly the uncontacted tribes in the center of the Amazon because they have like 6 foot arrows made of bamboo, and they'll like shoot it, and they're 6 foot, they're light, but the way they fly, the momentum will it can make it go through your body, and come out the other side. But yeah, it something I'm considering, I guess. I want to do a Amazon expedition where they're like taking us out on a canoe and like we got the local guides.
So cool.
Yeah. Um Paul Rosalie, I'm a big fan of his. You got to listen to his podcast. I'll send it to you. It's his podcast on Lex Friedman where I actually discovered him, but he has like so much knowledge on the Amazon. He's like the guy for Amazon wilderness know-how from America, and yeah,
What is his name?
Paul Rosalie, so Rosolie.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got to listen to that 3 hour, 34 minute conversation. This one went viral, and for good reason,
Oh,
because
nice.
yeah,
Okay.
it'll change the way you view rainforests. This conversation, because he's lived there in the Amazon for like 17 years, and so he has to like merge with it and kind of like eat from there. Like he eats peccary meat. He eats grubs with like local little girls, like because grubs are a delicacy in certain villages down there. That's one thing I don't think I could ever eat, like a live wriggling grub.
Really?
Yeah, that's a little much. Like just biting into it.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, it would
I think you've eaten more peculiar things.
mhm. Yeah, I got a slight advantage there. I have like experience eating organs and stuff. I
If
had elk meat this morning, just like an elk burger without the buns. Um yeah, it's that's so good for you. That's like way better than any protein powder you can find. Just elk meat.
I'm very happy for you.
You gotta try it. Like just see how you feel.
Vegetarian.
Oh, you're vegetarian? I didn't even notice what I didn't pay attention to what you were putting on your plate throughout that entire Brazil
There's a
trip.
lot of rice and beans.
Okay. Yeah, I respect vegetarians. I mean, like why what some vegetarians have different reasons why they're vegetarian. What is your reason?
I was a picky eater as a kid.
Oh yeah. So you just don't
Yeah.
like the taste of like
Yeah,
animal
I just
meat?
refused to eat it as a kid. And then I'd say around fifth grade, became like this raging animal activist.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never gonna eat an animal.
Yeah.
And I haven't.
That's
Besides mealworms. I've eaten mealworms, but that's it.
on purpose?
Yes.
When and why?
It was when I was doing wildlife rehabilitation, I would always like dare my coworkers to do really goofy things, and they never would. And then one day,
Oh my
my one
gosh.
coworker was like, "Mikayla, like I dare you to eat a handful of mealworms." I was like,
Dude,
"Well, a dare's a dare."
that's crazy. I don't think I could
Yeah,
have done that.
and like they were dormant because they were in the freezer, but like we had them out of the freezer for a little, so they're just starting to
Oh my
wake
god.
up. And so, yeah,
Would you say like a soup? You know what super worms are? I bet, right? Would you say that would be harder? Like a handful of super
super
worms?
worms.
Yeah, they're just. You have you heard of those? They're very similar to mealworms, but they're bigger. Yeah. I feel like the bigger it is, the more harder it will be to get down. You know, for insects. Oh my gosh, dude, I could not do that. A handful.
I don't know if I could do a super worm.
Yeah, it's a little much, right?
They're a little thicker.
Yeah, but apparently bugs are so good for us. I just
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, I just can't wrap my mind around like I'm biting into little heads and legs and mandibles. Yeah,
I
it's
think I
just
could do like the powdered version of them, like putting that into food.
yeah. I could do it if it was like in a pill form where I don't even
Yeah.
taste it. But the grubs that they eat in the Amazon, they're like this big and like plump, and they eat them raw, they eat them fried, they eat them in different ways. But it's considered a delicacy down there. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, he mentioned
Good for
that. Paul
them.
Rosalie mentioned that in his other podcast appearance, which I was super excited for. He went on the Joe Rogan podcast, which was awesome because in this podcast, on Lex Friedman's podcast, Lex was telling him like, I gotta tell Joe Rogan about you, bro. Joe Rogan's gonna love to talk to you. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then it finally happened. So like a week or two ago, like a week and a half ago, Joe Rogan did Paul Rosalie podcast number 2013, which is awesome because he's a conservationist. So more people that know about Paul Rosalie, the more people will support his conservation efforts. Uh,
That's
yeah, down
really
in the Amazon.
awesome.
And that one they covered a lot of cool stuff too, including the grubs. How little girls in villages will just go around eating grubs like popcorn, and they made Paul Rosalie. One of these little girls at the villages was like daring Paul Rosalie, like, "This is my favorite food. Look," and she's like eating it. He's like testing Paul Rosalie to see if he would do it, and Paul, he's like, "Oh yeah, let me try," and then So he also ate a full grub. It was crazy. I can eat organs all day, but bugs are a little. It's definitely
I could do the
easier.
bugs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would take me like a second to hype myself up, but I think I could do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm really surprised that it would be difficult for you.
It's weird knowing that there's like whole bodies in my mouth. You know what I mean? Where versus if it was just an
If it's just
organ.
a part of it.
Yeah, if it's a part of it, it's easier because I can like think about one thing. Whereas it's all everything in my mouth. It's just like overwhelming. It's like holy crap. But I think I could do it. It would just be tough. I've never done it. I've never eaten a bug. But I want to. I want to get there. Our professor Jill, she swallowed a bug.
Jill's so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. How she was like, yeah, I just drank some water and washed it down. I was like, holy crap.
So cool.
This is some green tea. I had my
Beautiful.
coffee already, so don't want to have too much coffee. Dude, I've been getting
The
such a
farm
little sleep.
coffee?
I ran out. I ran out of the farm coffee.
But you had it all already?
Yeah, it ran out because each bag was like a little pouch, and
Didn't you get
yeah,
like 5 bags?
three.
Okay.
Dude, three of those added up to like one Starbucks bag.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I wish
that
I
makes
got
sense.
more. Um, but yeah, I've been having little sleep, so I don't want to drink like multiple cups of coffee because that'll affect my sleep at night. So I'm done after this. Like I had coffee this morning. This is some tea, and that is it because I want some good quality sleep.
Mm.
Dude, it's been so good after the semester ended. Like I've been basically a workhorse, but doing work that I want to do. So like learning about my Nikon camera, wherever it is, my writing stuff, and like this month I've just been like learning as much as I can so I can record properly at this farm that I have an opportunity to record at, to make a good film. You know.
That's so exciting.
I know, dude. Uh, but what else has been new? What have you been doing after the semester ended?
Um, Working.
Oh yeah, I mean work
Um,
is everybody's got to do it, right? I also
yeah.
am working, just DoorDash. I'm about to download GoPuff to start driving around for GoPuff because DoorDash is like it'll come and go. DoorDash is not like a someone we can rely on. But yeah, I'm about to do DoorDash and then GoPuff as well. So it'll just increase the chances I have of actually getting orders versus just waiting in my car, which I hate.
Do you get like study orders with it?
DoorDash, yeah, especially when
Yeah.
it first started off like 2 years ago, I was making so much money. I was like, dude, I don't need to even be an engineer anymore. But it's just like it dropped off like
Beautiful.
tremendously because I guess there's a lot more dashers now. Not that I care much because I'm trying to focus on, like I told you, my filmmaking and writing. Um, I've been overwhelmed. Like, what do I do? Do I focus on my writing or do I focus on my YouTube, right? But now I'm realizing that I got to do both because
Yeah.
movies and films and documentaries they require scripts and they have to be written. So I have to kind of merge the two. But because you know James Cameron, the guy who made Avatar, he wrote.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was the director and the writer, so he knew about cameras and writing, and he did the same thing for Titanic. So that's kind of what I want to do for like a nature documentary. I want to be in control of the creative aspects of the documentary. So I got to know both, basically.
That's so cool.
Yep. Here's another talking point that I wanted to talk to you about. So your synthesis paper, how was that? How did you end up like? Was it like you were pretty satisfied with it? Because I wasn't. I was like, shit. I wish I had more time.
I I wish that my undergrad taught me how to make a synthesis paper
Mm-hmm.
instead of just literature reviews and research reports because I think mine was definitely subpar compared to what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I did my best with the knowledge I had on it and like with the assistance of Google and trying to like look at examples of synthesis papers.
Yeah.
I think my topic was very interesting. I don't think I did a good synthesis of it though. I think if they just wanted a literature review, oh yeah, I could have
Okay.
done that.
Gotcha. And it was about the potential of growing bamboo, Or
That's what I want my like master plan to be on.
oh, okay, gotcha.
But
So this
my
one was
synthesis was women's roles in community-based conservation
okay.
and how to like integrate women more into conservation because in like developing countries it's a lot more difficult. And I'd say like before like our master's program, I would have been like, oh yeah, like educating women is like what's most important to do. But it's really the how are you going to do that, especially in societies
Mm-hmm.
that don't encourage women to be educated. So I was like trying to like dive into that more, but it's so much more complicated than like anyone could ever expect it to be
Yeah, I bet.
until like other cultures and societies like gain more like progressive views, but it's really difficult with like older cultures and just how everyone was raised and will probably continue to be raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like really intimidating of a topic because there's just so many like specific situations with that, right? Like
Yeah.
different countries viewing it in a different way or something like that. I wouldn't know, but that's what I would guess.
Yeah. So one of the papers that I was looking at, it talked about like Saudi Arabia and how then viewed this is just based on the article,
Mm-hmm.
no personal views or opinions with it. But it was about how like it was like 40%, I think it was around like 40% of like men viewed like women like incapable of being in
That's a big
like
percentage.
roles, like responsibility roles and like
Yeah.
managerial positions. And so with having like that many, like that high of a percentage of men not trusting women, like it's hard to integrate them into anything.
Oh yeah. I bet that's like the hardest country to do that, right?
It's definitely one of them. I know like India is really like beginning to integrate women more into conservation
Mm-hmm.
and into like decision making for conservation. So I had a lot of articles about India and how much they're improving with conservation.
Okay.
Like yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's good that India's making a shift because that's like over 1 billion people right there.
yeah,
Yeah. So your master plan is the bamboo, growing bamboo. Okay.
heck yeah.
Nice.
I'm hoping. When I talked to Jill and Sam about it, they were talking about like adding more timber alternatives other than just bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see about that because their main concern was since it's an invasive species, like how to contain it. But I don't remember. It might have been Heather who brought up that Disney has like a cement, I believe, container that they grow them in so that they're not able to grow outward and
Mm-hmm.
it would be a contained plant. So I think if bamboo plants and farms would be all contained, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, that
And
is
then we could just
interesting.
make a lot of bamboo products.
Yeah, it's like a long list of stuff you can make with bamboo, right?
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
and it grows so fast. Like, remember the bamboo we came across on that nature trail?
Insane.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like bending in its under its own weight. How
So
tall
cool.
it grew. Um, yeah. So, and then your master plan is that, and what's your IAP? Your inquiry
Ooh,
action project.
okay. So for that, I want to do research on what timber alternatives are the most sustainable and which ones are more like greenwashing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's like, and then I'll use that to help like determine more of my master plan and like what I'll hone in on.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll definitely be going over bamboo. I know hemp is another one,
Yeah,
and
I've heard
I need
about
to
the
figure
potential
out
of hemp.
others.
Yeah, I would watch or read your IAP because I don't know much about greenwashing in terms of wood and like tree products. I just know about it with the food. That's where I know my
Yeah,
greenwashing stuff. But Yeah. So like buying furniture, knowing if it was bad for the environment, something like
Yeah.
that. Buying a chair, even. Okay.
Yeah. I want to see
Nice.
like the amount of like water usage for it, like how much electricity was used for everything, um, like
Mm-hmm.
determining carbon footprints.
Yeah.
We'll
Nice.
see. What's yours?
My IEP, it's literally this project I told you about this weekend where I'm going and recording a short
Oh,
film. Yeah. So
yeah.
it's that short film that will be my IEP. I have to make a survey at the end where there's a couple questions I got to ask whoever watched the whole film, and then that will be my inquiry action project. Two birds with one stone. Um,
Incredible.
but it said like in the thing you have to do an IAP that aligns with your like life goals and stuff, and it's making a film that aligns with my life goals for sure.
That's literally you.
Yeah,
The
I have to
project
do
is
this.
so Sadat.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like a relief too, because managing YouTube and a master's degree is a little much.
It's
But
a lot.
yeah, I'm hoping the overlap will take care of the IAP there. But yeah, just now as you're talking about wood, I'm wondering what this is made of, if it was sustainable or not. And even my speakers are wood. Like I bought some speakers
That's so
recently.
cool.
Like this speaker right here. You can't really see
Ooh,
it.
that's
I
nice.
know, right? I love how it looks. It's I got two of them, both for just $100
They
total.
look really good.
Yeah. So they don't sound incredible because of how cheap they are, but I just love how it looks. And I'll put on some like ambient music and stuff as I work. But yeah, it looks like they have like an outer coating of wood. It's probably not sustainable. These speakers were made in China too, so
I'll find you a really good sustainable alternative.
dude, that would be amazing if you could like find speakers that are also like artisan made and
That would be
sustainable.
awesome. I'll
Yeah.
get on it.
Oh yeah, for
Get
sure.
in my
Thank you.
notes.
I also got this little thing recently. It's a digital audio recorder. So basically, I'm taking this up there to northern Michigan, and I'm gonna have the farmer Wendy kind of attach it to her belt, and then there's gonna be a little lavalier mic that she's gonna clip on right here. So whenever she's talking, cause she's so
That's
knowledgeable, and she
awesome.
just she starts talking and she keeps going and going and going. So I just want to get that audio set up on her, and then I'll record her as she's talking about her pigs or her chickens or whatever. Cause yeah, she is a wealth. She has oceans of knowledge, and every time I talk to her, it's like, dude, I wish I could share this with the world, because, and I wish I could remember it, because I don't remember everything she tells me. The longest podcast I had was actually with her, because she was just nonstop. I learned so much, and she has a lot of knowledge on soil health and animal welfare. She's actually the only animal welfare certified farm in all of Michigan. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's incredible.
Oh yeah, her pigs are just like raised out in a forest with wild turkeys, and they get to converse with the turkeys. They get to rummage on the forest floor. It's nothing like how pigs are raised in like modern industrial systems. It's like a total flip.
Wow. So what else does she have? She has pigs.
She has cows. She has like I want to say 20 or 15 cows, and she's got these massive horses that look like they're from a fantasy world. And I'm definitely gonna take some shots of them to kind of set the mood, like initially when I first start the film. She's got horses, cows, chickens, turkeys, guinea fowl, uh, peacocks. Peacocks are just for her own enjoyment. She's like, I raise animals for food. Might as well mix some pets in there. So they're not gonna eat the peacocks. They're just that's her fun little side project. And then what else does she have? I feel like she has some more animals, rabbits. Um, and then she's got these three huge Great Pyrenees dogs just roaming the property, keeping everything safe. Because in northern Michigan, there's coyotes and black bear.
Mm.
One night, one of her Great Pyrenees that was barking up a storm at like 5 a.m. And she ran out and she saw like it was right at the edge of the fence, and there's this black bear on its hind legs. It was crazy. It's a different world up there in northern Michigan. It's not like southeastern Michigan at all.
Does she do the whole process for getting the meat? Does she like do this skinning, and I don't know everything that goes into
Oh yeah, I
meat
mean,
production.
she sends her cows out, I know, to a processing facility. So I'm guessing
Okay.
she sends them all out to a processing facility. There's that weird middleman issue, and that's really hard to get past in America, where if you're trying to make like sustainable, um, like good animal treatment, good animal welfare meat, you have to get past the fact that you have to send your animals to a processing facility for them to get actually killed and stuff. So you'll never really be in control if they are humanely
Okay,
killed. Yeah,
so they're sent out while they're alive.
yeah, they're sent out while they're
Okay.
alive. They're It's all kind of like an assembly sort of system. I'm sure they're doing a good job at it, but it's just like the fact that it's behind curtains is kind of like, I wish that's like one of the main reasons I want to be connected to it. So I know for a fact that the animal went in the most humane way it could have gone. Um, but you can work around it. Like Will Harris, the big farmer that I did an interview with, he got past it, so he can slaughter his animals on his own farm, and he uses every part of the animal, like nose to tail, which is just
That's
really,
incredible.
yeah, it's awesome. It's really hard to get there in America. Hard to get to that point where you're in control of the processing as well. What he did was he built a processing facility on his farm. So he's like, yeah, that's the processing facility, and it's mine. Um,
That's incredible. So does he like personally use like the hides? Does he sell the hides?
yeah, he sells the hides. He personally uses a lot of everything basically, but he sells hides. He sells everything, like every part of the animal. Even like it's so funny. He sells in his general store like a little pouch, which is actually the scrotum of the male cows. So he uses everything. Little storage
Okay. What
pouch.
is his name again?
Will Harris, and
Okay.
he's the owner of White Oak Pastures. He's got a very southern accent. It's like some people can't even understand him. But I love his accent. Most people love his accent. He's a really nice guy. Did you find White Oak Pastures?
I was just making notes of it.
Oh, okay. There's probably a lot of other
Yeah.
Will Harrises. So yeah, it's White Oak Pastures in Bluffton, Georgia.
Got it.
hmm It's so funny because he doesn't know much about technology, but he's got a big following. Like his workers run the pages, I guess.
Wow. He has a very nice website.
hmm
Oh my gosh, you can stay there?
Yeah, he's got agro-tourism and everything all established. That's
Brilliant.
that's like my master plan right there. That's more so my master plan. That's like my life
Wow.
goal. Yeah. He's got agro-tourism and it's like successful.
Wow. This is incredible.
I know, right?
I'm just like looking at like his artisan goods
hmm
section. Wow.
He's got a lot, right?
He's brilliant. Whoa.
I know. You gotta check out his Instagram too. He's got like 185K followers on there. They post a lot of cool stuff on the Instagram page, and I think a YouTube as well. Yeah, they have a YouTube.
Wow. He's doing it right.
I know, dude. What do you think of this deer behind me?
I love that.
That's what Will Harris commented on right when he entered the chat. He's like mentioning that the deer looks cool. He's like, I thought it was a mount at first. I'm like, no, it's just a painting. But we got that from IKEA.
I like
It
it.
looks really cool. To add a little backdrop to the podcast angle,
Nice.
and you can see a little bit of my vinyl here. I just got a
Yeah.
vinyl record
What are you
player.
listening to?
I'll show you right here. I want you to see, because I don't know if you'll like this person, but
Drum roll. Yep.
yeah, you
Yep.
this album is just legendary. And right behind him, I have an older album. This is Stevie Nicks.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I love Edge of 17, and I just love the whole artwork for the front. I was like, I need to hang this up somewhere, so I just bought it.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Very good choice.
You gotta get into Eminem. Start with the Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay.
Dude,
We'll see. No promises.
I still have my necklace on from the street vendor that I bought it from.
I love
I actually love this
that.
thing. It just like
That's
I like it because it's not a real tooth, but it looks like
cool.
one. And this thing, you remember this?
Yeah, has it
Yeah,
been staying on well?
yeah, it has been staying on the wall. I figured out how to do it with one hand, and my
Yes.
two like biting it and pulling it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But thanks for all the times that you tied it.
Absolutely. It looks really cool.
It's so simple. Like there's not like markings or anything. It's just like cowhide.
It looks good.
You know when you sometimes wear stuff that reveals something about you, like little owl earrings, or
Yeah.
means you like owls, or little whatever that reveals something that you like? This is just like a mystery. It's like nothing on here. It's just cowhide.
Like, who is Sadat?
I know, right? I just like that on people. I like it when it's just colors, like simple colors, you know? It's not like all filled with names and patterns. So I just ran out of bullet points because I was in the process of creating them, but we can now talk about whatever because that's how my podcasts are. Um,
Sick.
let's talk about like a single day. I'm trying to separate the days on this trip. Like the most physically rigorous day was definitely the farming day.
The agroforestry
Yeah.
that I didn't know was agroforestry until like halfway through the day.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, like that I can't tell the difference between normal farming and agroforestry from what we were doing there because like you have to still deforest like that entire hill to grow the way they were growing, right? Um, but I didn't want to sound disrespectful or anything. I kept like barraging Lila with questions and trying to understand like how is this exactly beneficial. Obviously, it's better than like a building where there's like animals and food products on assembly lines. So I guess it's better in that sense. But when I hear agroforestry, I was envisioning like a forest, and then we're planting coffee plants within like the forest plants, trying to create like an ecosystem. Um, but it was still cool. It was still cool to do the whole process of carrying the wheelbarrow up there and spreading the fertilizer. Um, if you weren't like physically ready, that was a hard day.
Yeah. I appreciated when like you came up to our area and we were like tag teaming
Oh yeah, that was
up
so
there. That
fun.
was really good.
Yeah, the white powder, which was like the worm food or
Yeah.
something, and then the phosphate, the thermophosphate, the nitrogen. It was interesting and it was cool because like I got a workout in. I was kind of worried that I would gain weight after I came back from this Brazil trip, but we had a good workout that day.
I feel like everyone was really concerned about like gaining weight while we were there and like how much they were eating. And I'm like, we are eating so clean.
Yeah, we were eating
Like,
hella clean.
we were really having farm to table and like the amount of walking we would do some days, like especially for the farm, I was like, we don't have anything to worry about, guys.
Yeah, dude, I was worried though because there was no way to weigh yourself there. So when I was about to weigh myself, I was like, dude, I must have gained 5 pounds minimum. But I actually lost 3 pounds, which is what happened. It's crazy.
Dude, eating clean. Wow, like
Yeah,
the wonders.
the food was so nutrient dense and invigorating. Like the same amount of calories from like processed modern American processed food wouldn't have had the same effect. Like we would have not
No,
felt as full, I don't think. But yeah, I'm glad.
definitely not.
Yeah, I was so glad about the food situation. Um,
So good.
yeah, at Corderos it was like heaven on earth, like breakfast with hummingbirds buzzing
Oh
past
my gosh,
behind your
that
head.
was magical.
Oh yeah,
It was like the most magical experience.
that night
The
was crazy.
coffee, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I've never like been somewhere that like the coffee was grown there and we were having it and
Yeah, and the little
it was
cute little
magical.
clay mugs that were like this big. I don't know
Beautiful.
why, I just love those. I love the fact that we were drinking it out of something natural as well. Remember that night where It was like kind of like a break from all the studies, and we did dancing, music, and stuff.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was so. We needed that. You remember that fire? That
That's
huge
huge. That was
fire?
insane.
It was. I was like, me and Steven were like, that's a fire as we were walking down the hill because it was going like 3 stories into the sky,
Yeah,
the
no.
embers.
I've truly never seen a bonfire like that before,
Yeah,
ever.
and it was just magical because I was like slightly buzzed, and I was just looking at this thing. I was sleep deprived and buzzed, and I'm like, is this really happening right now? Am I really just talking to my professor? Jill was standing right there. Am I really talking to my professor with a Heineken in my left hand and a gigantic fire? And this is part of my master's program. It was insane. It was so cool.
I just, I think that was the night, like, I got a little goofy and I was trying to talk to Andrea and I was like, I need to stop. I was
Mm-hmm.
just like complimenting her. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, it's like, I don't know how to talk to her.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous to talk to Andrea too because she's just so like knowledgeable with. I feel like the questions
Incredible.
I'll ask her will sound stupid.
Like I literally just went, I don't know who I was with, like either Sanjana or Helena. And I was like, I want to tell her how cool she is.
Yeah.
And so like whoever I was with, like literally drug me over to her. And I probably had like at least a glass of wine in my system. And I was just like, I just want to let you know
Yeah.
that you are the coolest person ever. You're amazing. Thanks for all you do. And she literally said, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
She's a woman of few words, but that adds to her badass vibe. I like it.
Like, you better know.
It was crazy how when we were walking through the rainforest with her leading, and the calls that she was able to do, the golden lion tamarin calls. Nuts.
Amazing.
It was so cool. I asked her a question that she also gave like a very quick answer to. Then I was just like, I felt kind of stupid. Um, I was out there, right? She was leading the trail. We were in the forest. This was when the tamarins surrounded us, and
Yeah.
yeah, this was on that day, and we were walking all in single file line through the forest, and I was near the front with like Megan behind me, Andrea in front of me, and then we all stopped because some tamarins came by, and I saw this one tamarin. It was me and him, like eye contact, right? And I was just staring at this tamarin. I was really trying to like be super present, and I was trying to like feel its soul. As weird as that sounds, right? I was trying to like put a shape to its soul, and I feel like I sensed something. Like I felt something amazing, like a connection to that forest, right? By looking into the tamarin's eyes. Then I asked Andrea. I was like, "Do you ever connect or feel the animal's soul?" And Lila had to translate, and she was like, "The soul." She looked at me and she was like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." she's just like, I guess connecting with the souls and stuff is it's more of a modern society thing. I don't know. Out there, it's just like you're a part of it. You're a part of
Yeah.
the jungle, basically. They don't see themselves as like separate, which I also don't. I don't. I like to be part of the system of nature. I'm not religious, but if I were to be religious, that is my religion. Like being connected to nature. You know what I mean? That's like how I live my life. So like
But
yeah.
have you thought about Thailand as an Earth expedition?
I
Because it
considered it.
sounds very much like you would vibe there.
Really, is it? How so?
It's very like connecting spiritually with nature
Mm-hmm.
and like with meditation and like just
Okay.
all of like human nature connections,
Yeah.
but in a more spiritual sense,
Dude, I want to do all the Earth expeditions if I'm being honest
right?
with you. But and then I asked Jill, can we do like 9 Earth expeditions? And she's just saying like, yeah, but it's really not a great idea because you got to do all the work, even if you're just tagging along. You can't just tag along. You got to be part of it. You got to write in your journal and do everything. But we'll see. if anything, I'll go to Thailand, like just go there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. If I ever, when I get a big channel, if I can like go with a team that records everything, and it's just that will be the best way to travel. You know, you're just out there picking up stuff, picking up snakes, and sharing it with the world. You know, after you edit it, that would be how I want to see places. Yeah.
It's just reminding me of when you're like just like picking up snakes. It's like that reminds me of like our night hike that we did,
Mm-hmm.
like on the first night.
Oh my gosh.
And like you were like you're like ready to touch this one spider, and then like Jackie's like, don't do that.
Yeah,
And you're like, no, I know this spider.
yeah, I did though. I was staring right at a wolf spider, and she was telling me like, "Well, you don't know what it is," and I was like, that was when I was like, so it's as if somebody's telling me this apple is not an apple, and I'm just like, what do I do? But I could see why Jackie was concerned for me. It's because one of the first things I said to her was that I was gonna catch a snake by its tail, and she was like, "No, Sada, you never catch a snake, no matter what." And she's right. And the way I said it to her, I said it as if I was actually gonna do that right here, right now. I just meant like that's how
Yeah,
you
I
can do it.
trusted that you wouldn't.
Yeah, but it was cool. Jackie was one of the people I really connected with because I love her like her like overall just attitude, her wild spirit. She would just jump over like a. Remember when she jumped over the flowers and like ran into the room to go grab something? Like that just
She's
summarizes her personality.
like I remember before the actual trip, I was so intimidated to meet her. I was
Really.
like, she has done like she's lived 1,000 lives already. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was so like nervous to meet her. I was like, she's the coolest here.
Yeah.
Like and she is. She's so cool. I
She's
mean,
badass,
everyone
yeah.
was so cool. I was like, Jackie's like a different level.
I know, dude. When we were out at the club, not the club, the bar, um, Steven was telling me like how he had to kind of play bodyguard because all these weirdos, these creeper guys that would come. But he told me like it seemed like Jackie didn't need any protection or help at all. She's just like this. She's got it. You know, she knows how to handle herself.
Jackie was just vibing. She was just like, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to hear some more Africa stories from her this Tuesday when we do our podcast.
Well, I can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, I want to ask her, like, I wonder if she slept with animals in Africa because you have to like comfort baby animals because they'll feel scared if they're sleeping by
Yeah, with
themselves.
the rhino orphanage she was at, like she
Yeah.
probably,
Hmm.
I feel like she would have.
Yeah, that's an experience of a lifetime. Just being there for an animal, a baby animal like a rhino. I would connect so deeply to that animal because I've
Yeah.
connected with my birds that I keep in my backyard. Dude, I my quail. I don't know if I ever told you, my quail. He was born a little deformed, so like he can't walk properly. He has a bent neck, but I mean mentally he's all there. Um, when he hatched out, he couldn't even come out of his egg. So I did an incubator and I hatched out a bunch of quails, and I had to take like a few shell pieces off for him because I was like, this baby's not gonna come out. It's gonna just suffocate in there. And then once it came out, once he dried up, I was like looking at him, and he's like, he had a bent neck, and he was wobbling a little bit, whereas all the other babies they were like zipping around. And then I was just like, what do I do right now? Because I wasn't prepared for one of them to come out like that. So then I put a divider up, and he was on one side, and all the other babies were on the other side, doing all normal stuff, eating food, drinking water. He couldn't drink water because like his water bowl was so low to the ground, he would just topple over and he could drown in there. So I had to every hour I had to feed him with a little CVS pipette that I bought, like little water droplets. And I mean, I did some internet research on how to cure a bent neck like that, and they said I had to feed him, supplement his diet with selenium and manganese. So I got selenium and manganese, put him in the pipette. I did everything I could, but he still got the bent neck. And he recently got injured. He got this morning. I woke up and he had a bloody neck, and I was like, my heart stopped because like I bonded with that little creature over the months that I fed him with the pipette. So like he was bleeding, like profusely bleeding, like all around his neck, and I was thinking like a mouse or a rat got him over the night, and I was like, holy crap. And then I drove him over. I called a vet, Arc Veterinary Hospital, and they sewed him up with stitches, and this was 2 weeks ago. Right now he's totally back to full health, but I've bonded with this quail that I did not think I would have ever bonded with, just through taking extra care of it. Which goes back to what was I saying? Connecting with animals, with Jackie and sleeping with the animal, baby rhinos. I would definitely bond heavily with that animal. I'm sure you've bonded with some animals too, just caring for. Dude, that eagle photo that you sent, the bald eagle, where you were just holding it.
Yeah,
You are
that
not
was
you're
cool.
not sharing everything with us that you've done.
Okay, I've done some really cool things.
Hmm.
Just would love to have a career in those really cool things.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It sucks.
Um, like I would
Nobody.
love to just do wildlife rehabilitation for the rest of my life, but like it's just not a sustainable lifestyle as far as paying bills, paying back student loans. So
Yeah, I
I feel
mean,
like
I
that's the
would love.
dream.
Yeah, I would love to do wildlife rehab or something related. Um, it's just the money that has made me decide to be a filmmaker, um,
Yeah.
and writer, which is also not guaranteed. But my goal is to make money with that, and then let that support my wildlife rehabilitation, farming, whatever, where I'm with the animals. I searched it up. Isn't wildlife? It showed me on Google that it's like wildlife rehabilitation is like $40,000 a year sometimes. But is it?
Like for the pay.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like the director, you could probably make that much. I feel like that's like on the higher end.
Okay.
Um, and most facilities only have like 2 to 4 people on staff. The rest is volunteers. So you would have to wait for someone to quit or retire. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of like intern and volunteer positions available.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I would love to be able to just like volunteer, but between like school and work, it's not feasible right now. So maybe post graduation.
I know, right? Dude, I saw this video on YouTube of two wildlife rehabilitators. I think they were husband and wife, but they were just living in a little cabin up in like the Yukon Territory, and they were taking care of baby grizzly bears. And I was like, dude, that's like amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, because they were feeding them milk out of the bottles, and the grizzly bears were like 20 pounds, but they still
I
had.
did that with black bears.
Oh, nice, nice. How am I not surprised? What else have you worked with? Tigers,
Okay.
lions.
Okay, not tigers, lions, yes.
Really? Lion cubs or
Not cubs. They were adults. So that was when I was in Zimbabwe and I did like it was all like shifting them into another enclosure,
mm-hmm.
putting a nice butchered dead cow in there. I
Dang.
didn't realize they were that heavy,
Oh
like
man.
just a leg. And like I helped hack away that leg from like an old dead cow,
That's crazy.
maggots under the fingernails from it, like
That doesn't gross you
got
out?
real
Because
down and bloody.
most vegetarians would be grossed out at like the sight and smell of meat, but that
Oh, it
doesn't.
was
Okay.
not my best. It was difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but like when else would I get that experience?
Yeah.
So it was
Wow.
like in the heat, like we were just like on a cement platform and it was just like a roadkill deer and they just like gave me a hatchet, pulled like the leg and the body and they're like, okay, you're gonna hit right here. And I was like, got it.
For me, that's like something I would love to do. Obviously, after the animal's dead, and I have
Yeah,
a clear conscience that it went humanely. After that, all I see is an abundance of amazing food that needs
food,
to be,
yeah.
yeah, that needs to be like processed and sectioned up,
What's
and
there?
yeah, exactly. So I would love to do that. They just give you a hatchet and just tell you to take the leg off or
Hmm.
something. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's definitely smelly. It
Mm-hmm.
was just smelly and bloody and full of maggots because it was
Mm-hmm.
a roadkill cow.
Okay.
Um,
Is
it
a lot
was
of the
not
meat
fresh.
is a lot of the meat you guys feed the lions roadkill? Like a good chunk of it?
It was like the easiest for them to find, also being that it would be free then.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like the most sustainable for them to use, and the lions did not care.
Yeah, honestly, that's such a good like it goes full circle. Like what else where else would that meat go? Um Dude, that in that case, Michigan is a great place for like a wildlife sanctuary with carnivores. We have so much roadkill white-tailed deer here. Like every time I drive up to that farm in northern Michigan, like from here to here, it's just every 2 minutes dead deer on the side of the freeway. Dead deer, dead
Wow.
deer. Yeah. Um,
Okay, so something I started doing, and like I've been told it gives serial killer vibes, but I just get biology student vibes from it.
mm-hmm.
More recently, I've been taking roadkill and preserving the bones from them.
Oh,
And
sick,
like, so I
dude.
have some like really cool skulls now.
That is something I've wanted to do and just haven't worked up the courage to actually park my car and start messing around with the body, but I want to do that. Did you just like shoot, like find them on the side of the road and stop your car?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What animal?
So like I took a wildlife management class in school. So like I know there's certain animals that you would have to like call like the game commission to like have permission to. So like I made sure that they're at least a common enough species that I can legally just take it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
So,
yeah, like a rabbit, squirrel,
okay, gotcha.
the
Rabbits.
littler things so far.
So the biggest thing you got was rabbit?
Um, so far, but when I was in Wisconsin, I got part of a fox.
Oh man. A red fox?
Yes.
Wow. A part of it? Like you saw a part of it on the road or
Yeah, so I ended up only getting the jaw from it. The rest was a little too shattered
oh
to
man.
take and preserve.
I feel like you're good. You have a good stomach for that stuff. Just like handling dead corpses. Yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm really bad with my own blood. Like if I get a cut, I'm like, mm-mm,
Yeah.
get it away from me. I can't look at it.
Okay.
But I guess if it's like a decaying animal, I'm fine.
That's cool. That's interesting. It just fascinates you, right? Like the anatomy of the animals, the
It's so
biology
cool.
side of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever dissect stuff in high school? Like dissect a frog?
But not in high school, but in college. And I was surprisingly not good with that. Like I was like gagging through it. I was like,
Oh
I can't
man.
do this. But now I'm fine with it. I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe it's just like after graduation. I think once I did like wildlife rehabilitation, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I was used to like cutting up mice for like the owls or like cutting up like just dead fish. So,
Okay. Wow. I have to cut up mice for owls. I have to do that next week. Well, I don't cut them up, but I take the dismembered parts that the owls don't finish sometimes. Like our great
mm,
horned owl, she's notorious for eating the head. So I got to go in there and take this decapitated rat body out every single time. It's like, bro, you're wasting so much meat. But she likes brains, I guess. Um, so you've had to cut it up yourself for the mice and
some
stuff.
scissors.
Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh.
was for the younger ones that we weren't able to give them the entire mouse yet for.
Mm-hmm.
Just that
Yeah,
really good crunch that it would make when you would
with the
cut it.
scissors. Jeez, that's how they say you have to do little birds like grouse and stuff. But I'd much rather just use a hatchet, just one quick motion. I don't want to use
Yeah,
scissors, you know.
it
Oh,
was, yeah, it took a long time.
I think I watched like a horror movie once, and like the main villain or whatever, when it was a little kid, it was like cutting pigeons' heads off with scissors. Yeah, that's a brutal way to decapitate an animal.
Yeah.
like a little animal. Um, Wait, back to the meat thing in Africa.
Yeah,
I'm so interested in that. So a lot of it's roadkill. What is the other like fraction of meat come from?
I have literally no clue.
Okay.
Um, but I know that they would get donations from grocery stores on their fruits and vegetables that were like close to expiration and had expired.
Mm-hmm.
So it was insane. They would get just like truck beds full of just like fruits and vegetables, and like half of it would be rotting from like the sun on it
Oh
during the
man.
dry. And they would just like dump it onto this platform. We would have to like dig through it to get some good stuff for like the bush baby and for the I don't even know what else we gave the fruit to. Oh, to the like the dick that there was.
That's a little deer, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And the bush baby's a little primate that's really little,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, little angel.
That's awesome. So, wait, how long did you do all that? And how long were you working in Zimbabwe?
Only 3 weeks,
Okay. That was
but
probably an experience of a lifetime, though.
it was wild.
Just like,
Definitely, it's not for the lighthearted.
yeah. Do you think that,
Someone who
like,
like doesn't like to sweat, wouldn't recommend.
yeah.
Yeah,
How hot was it hotter than, it was probably hotter than when we were in Brazil because it was winter for them
a
in Brazil.
dry heat version of it.
Oh, God. Does that lead to less sweating or more sweating?
Less, to me at least, it wasn't like quite as. I think it was more bearable of a heat than some of the days in Brazil.
Okay, gotcha.
But like it was just direct sunlight onto the skin,
Hmm.
and I'm like translucent, so I burnt immediately,
Oh,
and that was
that
rough.
that probably hurt, right? Just being
It was awful.
sunburnt. Oh my God. Did you use any like sunscreen?
Yeah, yeah. And then I just like didn't bring aloe,
Oh my God.
so just struggling through that one.
You got sunburnt like on what, the third day, first day, second day? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I'm just a sunburn person.
Dude, so the rest of that time, were you just in pain? Like if somebody touched you, like it would hurt?
For like a week.
Okay. Wow.
And then I was like, I just need to cover up all the time and
Yeah.
just sweat it out.
Wait, so take me through like a typical day of that Zimbabwe three
You
weeks.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So breakfast was at 7:30 sharp. And then from 8 to 8:30 or 8:30 to 9, we had to catch grasshoppers for the chameleon and for the scorpion
Oh my
and
gosh.
the frogs.
You had to catch them from the wild?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
they said go outside, catch grasshoppers, and we were supposed to get 30 a day. I don't have hand-eye coordination, so I would get like maybe five, just hoping that the other volunteers would also get the rest.
Yeah.
Um, and then
How
after
how
that,
big was each grasshopper, would you say? Oh my gosh.
right, yeah, I'd say about our grasshopper
That's sick.
size, a little bigger.
Yeah, that's a little bigger than the typical Michigan grasshopper.
Yeah. And then after that, we would from either 9 or 9:30 until I think 10:45, we would go to whatever section we were arranged to be at. So there was like a little farm area that like kids could go visit, which like, sheep, bunnies,
Hmm.
pigs, that stuff. Or you would be in carnivores, so like the baboons, vervet monkeys, samango monkeys. I think those were the main ones they had.
Hmm.
There was carnivores, so the hyenas, serval cats, um,
Oh wow, you guys had
leopard,
a serval
lions.
cat?
Yeah, they had two serval cats, four, maybe two. It was either two or four.
Uh-huh.
There were definitely two. Um, and then there was another one with like the reptiles,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I ever had that.
Okay.
But okay, so for the carnivores, it would be like you would do that from like either 9 or 9:30 until 10:45. So it
Mm-hmm.
would be like cutting up the cow. And then you would put all of the parts into a wheelbarrow and then go to the enclosures, shift the cats over to another area, and then like go in and clean that enclosure,
Yeah.
leave the meat in, close it, shift them back. And like I have like crazy videos of the lions like roaring, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh. Dude, send me that.
wow.
That sounds like a
Yeah, I
dream.
got you. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so cool.
and then from 10:45 to 11, it was tea time. Every day there was tea time, and I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And in Africa, I know that it's in other places of the world. I just had never heard of it before. They have rooibos tea,
I've heard of
which
that.
is
Yeah.
I had never heard of it before I
I
was
think
in
we have a little
Zimbabwe.
bit of it, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I was like, wow, this is great, and
Yeah.
I love it. Um, so I'd have that like every day. And then you would go back to work from 11 to 12. At 12 o'clock, you would have lunch from 12 to 1. And then from 1 to 4, you would go back to whatever section you were at, continue doing that. And like the big cats, it was the same thing, cutting up cow, feeding them,
Oh wow.
um, just like covered in blood.
Real. That's
And
so cool.
then from 4 to 4:30, we took care of the nursery. There were ducklings in there. It was like nursery and any animal that was like recovering from any medical services.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were hedgehogs in there. There was a kingfisher.
Mm-hmm.
Chameleon was in there. A few other small mammals. So we would take care of them until 4:30, and then we were done at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go back to our cabins, shower in the terribly cold water.
Wow.
And then around 6, I think, is when we would have dinner.
Okay.
And then you're free to do whatever for the rest of the night. But a lot of times there wasn't electricity.
Mm-hmm.
They would like joke that like if you would like blow on a wire, like all of the electric would go out.
Oh my God.
And that's how it seemed. So, and like by the end of the day, you were so exhausted that we would go to sleep at like 8:30.
Wow. And then you
Yeah.
said you wake up every day at what time?
I woke up around 7 because
7.
breakfast was at 7:30.
Okay. Wait, that sounds incredible. Like, what is the name of this? Like, if I wanted to do that? Um,
So that is Chipangali, Chipangali. And
okay.
it's in Bulawayo.
Wait, could you send me the link to that where I would
Yes.
apply? Okay. Because I'm seriously considering it after you told me what a typical day's like.
Yeah, like I think you would really like it. The days are some hard work,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's worth it.
Yeah. I really just I want to do it all, but I especially want to carry a wheelbarrow full of meat to the lions.
Oh my gosh. You also, okay, I lied in there. After tea time, you didn't have an hour of work. You had an hour of animal time.
Mm, okay.
So 11 to 12 every day, you would go and you were supposed to literally just connect with an animal.
Mm-hmm.
And like some enclosures you were allowed to go in, like obviously like lions, leopard, you can't go into those enclosures.
Yeah.
Several cats, you could go in and just like sit with them.
Wow.
And um,
Were you able to touch the serval cats? Or
they came up to you, yeah.
wow.
Um, there was okay, my favorite was their one resident was a baudelaire eagle, which I think is their national bird.
Okay, Valerie.
and her name is Henry. She was just this little angel. So I would go in with her every day,
Hmm.
and she loved to be pet on the head. And I was like,
Wow,
this is my best friend. We have bonded,
that's so
and she
cool.
helped me become a bird girl.
That's so cool. I'm trying to see a picture of it. So I just typed in like Zimbabwe national bird. So, oh yeah. So this says Baudelaire. Was it this?
Yes,
That's so cool.
beautiful.
Yeah, I will take a look at this. Wait, was this paid? The 3 weeks?
It was volunteer.
Okay, but that sounds like, dude, I would literally pay for an opportunity like that. Um, how'd you
And
find
like
this?
the money, like it was basically like what you would pay. It was for your to pay for your housing and food while you're there.
Hmm.
And then the rest was like a donation to help like keep the facility running.
Okay.
I just sent you a picture of
Yeah,
Henry,
I saw that. That's awesome.
little angel.
I feel like I've seen him at his species at World Bird Center in Missouri, World Raptor Center in Missouri.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They have two.
Okay. Yeah, because I have memories of seeing a bird just like that when I was doing my solo road trip.
That's so crazy. I was talking to one of the keepers there before, and
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, so like how tell me about your Baudelaire eagles.
Wow. So you bonded with this? Are they all docile, or would you say that particular one was just friendly toward you?
Just that one. So she only had one wing.
Mm-hmm.
So like she'll always stay there.
Oh
She's
man.
one of the residents instead of a patient. And so like she was just so used to human presence. So
Mm-hmm.
she was like, you guys are my best friends.
That's sick.
And I'm sending you a picture, a video of the lions.
Yeah, I want to see this stuff. Wait, how close to the? Here we go.
So close.
Did you feel that roar like in your chest?
Yes.
That's so cool. Lionesses?
Yes.
Okay.
So they had, I think it was just those two in one enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one had four or five males in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other video I sent was me throwing a leg to the lions.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. Looks like a cow leg.
Yep.
Okay.
I hacked that one off of the body.
Nice. That's so cool. Wait, so who else was doing this? Like similar people like you, or just all walks of life people?
Yeah, so there were other volunteers there. I think there were six other one volunteers while I was there. And then they have like a few staff members for every section.
Mm-hmm.
It's like two or three staff members for each section. And like it's like a pretty big facility for like how few people are running it.
Oh
They
man.
do so much work. Like they are
Yeah.
hard workers and they're the kindest people.
Okay.
Like the equivalent of like what keepers would be. So, and
Mm-hmm.
like they're just like so open to like sharing their life stories and
Wow. That sounds worth it. That sounds
the
very
nicest
worth it.
people.
Yeah. They do it like once every year or something.
You can go any time of year to volunteer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I did it through the program Go Eco. I highly recommend Go Eco to people. They do a lot of volunteer programs around the world,
Mm-hmm.
but like I always knew that I wanted to go to Africa. So
Same here.
that's how I found it.
That's my next Earth expedition that I want to go to. Kenya.
And yet, beautiful.
Yeah. What about you? What's your choice for next
Okay,
EE?
so yeah, originally I thought I wanted to do Kenya and Borneo.
Mm-hmm.
But after hearing about Thailand and the Galapagos, I'm thinking about maybe them. I
Mm-hmm.
still want to do Borneo, like hands down, like for
Oh
sure if
yeah.
I can get to Borneo. I
That's
want to do
actually my what I'm debating right now. Kenya, Borneo, it's like right there for my next one.
that.
Yeah. Cause I heard Kenya's not as good as like the expectations for it are in terms of the EE. But I still want to do Kenya.
Heard
Wait.
it's like full camping some nights.
Oh, so it's
Like you're
rustic.
really getting down and dirty.
That's and then you can hear like lions sometimes, I'm guessing.
Um,
That's a story you can tell to the grandkids that you camped out with like lions in
Yeah.
Africa?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you end up going to like Chipping they have some really incredible partners that like you get to do like day trips with, and you get to do this thing like if you choose to, there's a day that you get to do a rhino walk,
Mm.
and so you spend the whole day with this incredible guide who is funny and so knowledgeable about rhinos and other African species.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like ride in this like old renovated Range Rover, like
Yeah,
uh, no windows, like no doors, and just like
that's sick.
you walk up mountains, you see like old cave paintings, you hear stories about the bush people, and like I feel like that is so up your alley, and hearing
Yeah.
about like how people live off the land.
Wait,
It's like
that's part of the 3 weeks?
yeah,
Okay.
so like you can pick there's like another day that you can like pick 3 days to go to Victoria Falls if you
Mm-hmm.
want to.
Mm-hmm.
And like those are like add-on days, like if you want to spend like days going to Victoria Falls instead of being at the orphanage. So like I did a safari there, I did an elephant walk. Like those were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rhino walk was incredible. Like the guide tells you all about the native plants, how you like crush them, smell them. He was like, eat this one. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. And then this one, he like gave us like these seeds and put them in our hand. And he said, don't eat these ones yet. And I was like, wasn't gonna eat anything you didn't tell me to. And he's like, these are crazy hallucinogens. And I was
That's
like,
nuts.
nice.
Wait, were they just seeds or like a fungi?
It was some sort of seeds from some plant.
Okay.
We had so much information that day. I wish I remembered everything. I was like trying to write as much down
Yeah.
in my phone, but like did not take the hallucinogens. No drugs were allowed on facility.
Dude, I'd be so curious to try one, see what
I
happens.
really wish. And he was like, it affects all different people differently. Like some won't feel anything, some will like have like a crazy trip from it. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
insane.
I want
Like
to
that
do
is
some yeah,
awesome.
I want to do some prior research actually now that you mention it, 'cause some of them are, they'll mess you up pretty
Yeah.
bad. Wait, is this Go Eco? I just texted you the link I found. I just want to make sure that's the one. Did you get it yet?
Yes,
Okay. All
that's
right.
the one.
Okay.
And I know for a while they were doing a grant for people that like if you signed up for 2 weeks, you would get the third week free. So
Oh,
like
okay.
I ended up getting that grant, and
Oh,
that was really
nice.
nice because originally I was just gonna go for 2 weeks.
Oh, and then you got third week free. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking like if I were
Might
to
as
ever,
well.
yeah, if I were to ever do something like that, it would have to be like now. Like you can't really
They
do
also
that
have like
once you're
a
tied
new
down.
program through Go Eco with a rhino orphanage. So
Mm.
like if I had that opportunity again, I think I would do that because it's all different places to go
Mm-hmm.
to, and like one is now a rhino orphanage.
Oh, so they would be all just rhinos?
Yeah,
Okay.
like very hands-on. I mean, they're all hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a really incredible experience.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh my gosh, that video with the lions. So
Right?
so that's every day you just and how far are you when you watch them eat? Like in that video, did he just start eating it there, or do they like take it
Feet,
away? Oh, a few
feet
feet.
from
Okay.
them. So
Yeah.
there is nothing keeping those cats in. It's like a fence, like you would see at like a baseball field.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I was in awe. I was like, they can take this down.
yeah. And that reminds me, hold on, let me send you this video. CNN. There's a CNN 60 Minutes video on like different conservation efforts across the world, and here here's the thumbnail for it. It looks so cool. It's a jaguar howl or roaring. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like four little short documentaries congested into one video. But I mean, you should watch this regardless. But what I want to talk to you
Yeah.
about it for is the first video is when they were tranquilizing jaguars in the Amazon and taking measurements, blood samples, weight measurements, and that's just so cool. Like that's something I would also really want to do. Tranquilize wild animals to get data that'll help protect their overall population. Um,
Very
I,
simple.
yeah, I don't know if my MA in biology will allow me to do that. I don't know if that's enough, but I'll ask. I'll apply. Even if I can be like an assistant, like I'm just gonna tag along. I don't
That'd be
necessarily,
so cool.
yeah, I don't necessarily want to have to actually shoot the animal with the tranquilizer, but once it's
Yeah.
down, I want to be able to like feel its fur and like do some measurements if it's allowed. It's so cool. I wanna ask Idaho's Fish and Wildlife Department if I can tag along because they do that regularly with their grizzly population.
They're so cool.
Yeah, Swan Valley. I think it was called Swan Valley Creek. If you type Swan Valley Creek trail cams on YouTube, let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. But their trail cams capture like so much. Swan Valley Connections. Okay, so it's called Swan Valley Trail Cam. The 2021 compilation got like almost 500,000
Cool.
views. Yeah,
That's so cool.
I know. They captured a lot of cool stuff. And it's all in the lower 48. We seem to forget that there's like these giant lynx and wolverines all in the lower 48.
Their main missions are about conservation and education.
Yup,
I
that's why I
love
love it.
it. Oh my
It's
goodness.
so cool. I want to buy a trail cam and just set it up in my yard because we got some wacky animals sounds at night. You see this wolverine one?
Oh
It,
my, this is incredible.
yeah,
Oh, dude, that's sick.
there's like a
Wow.
wolverine that came right up to the camera, and I think there's not many in Idaho, which is that's a legendary capture. Is that up your alley too? Just tranquilizing animals
Oh,
and that sounds
absolutely.
amazing.
Give it to me.
That jaguar one that I watched, it was crazy. Like people don't even get to see a wild jaguar, and these people got to actually touch it, touch the fur of a live jaguar that was tranquilized.
That's cool.
It was so cool. And here I'm gonna send you one more CNN
I
wildlife
have a
60 minutes.
friend who works at big cat rescue, and when they do like medical procedures, like she'll go in and like assist with that. And she was saying that jaguars are by far the softest cat she's felt.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I was assuming. Even softer than lynx, probably, right?
Yeah.
Um, 1 second. There's this other 60 minutes. Yeah, this one. This is the thumbnail for the one I want to send you now.
Oh,
Should,
sick. Ooh.
yeah, this one's really cool. The videos they show in this one, you learn a lot too about like different conservation efforts throughout the world. I know Hope wanted to connect with the Aspinall Foundation. She sent that in the WhatsApp, and I found out about the Aspinall Foundation through like I think one of these 60-minute videos.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're cool. Their Instagram page is amazing. The stuff they share. I wanna do a podcast with them. I have more
That'd be cool.
confidence in asking these more famous people after Will
You
Harris
got it.
accepted. After Will Harris said yes, I was like, yes. By the way, I
Got it.
interviewed Will Harris. I'm just gonna mention that in the email and then see what they say.
You'd have a pretty killer resume.
Like wait, how so?
Like, be like, yeah, I like interviewed like these people for the podcast that I do.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
gotta
so sick.
I gotta mention it in a way that sounds like not condescending, but like
Yeah.
just like I'm
A
really
professional
in this
way.
stuff. Yeah, just show my passion, dude. This is my journal that I took. You
I
remember?
feel like yours was like packed.
Yeah, it was. I ran out of pages like a few other students. A few students ran out of pages toward the end. I should have got a bigger journal because this is like the size of my hand.
Dang.
Yeah, I was writing a lot because like I said I couldn't sleep, so I was just outside the cabin looking at the galaxies above and the insects below and just writing whatever kind of came to my mind. Lorelai walked past me from the little pavilion area. She said, "Sit up. What the hell are you doing?" It was like 12:30 a.m. Um,
She's so funny.
no, she didn't say what the hell are you doing. She was like, "What are you doing right now?" She was like baffled. Like, why am I out here at 12 a.m. looking straight up at the sky and writing? Which is understandable, but I was amazed by that place. You can't take like a few steps. You can't take more than 5 steps without seeing something on the ground. Either some ants or a spider or a frog. They come out
Do you remember that
more.
giant snail?
Nobody showed me that. I saw the picture after in the WhatsApp. Yeah, Helena sent the picture of a gigantic snail. Which trail was that on?
It was just at the farm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
That's
was
like
just
this
like on
big?
the way out, like when you would walk down to the bus,
Mm-hmm.
like it was just on the walkway,
Oh, yeah.
just
That's
chilling.
that's crazy. Walking down to the bus, that straight pathway, that was
Yeah.
that was cool. I remember I was late a few times. I was like the last person on the
Yeah,
bus.
yeah. The one time we started moving without you, and everyone was like, "Wait, to die."
And then I did it like again, and then the professors were like, you gotta, we're gonna leave you soon.
Together, man.
You know what I was doing and why I was late? I literally took a photo of the cat, the farm cat, that
Of
was,
course.
and the bus was right behind the cat, so it was totally worth it. Yeah, being late to that bus because I don't know where the photo is right now. I transferred it all to my MacBook, but it was a great photo. The farm was amazing. What was your favorite? I guess there's no really favorite that you can pick from the farm. It was all just amazing. But what is your favorite aspect of that place, Cordero's? When we,
Loaded. That's a loaded one. Okay, because
yeah,
the food was incredible. The people were so kind.
yeah, for real,
Like they really just made us feel like family.
yeah,
Um, the whole ambiance was spectacular. I loved like the eating area, the dining area that we had.
mm-hmm,
I thought like that was so magical.
mm-hmm, yeah. The lights up top at night. They turn the
Beautiful.
lights on, and then in the daytime you get the hummingbirds and the butterflies,
So cool.
and yeah, like you said, they're so nice. Lila was so nice. I'm actually doing a podcast with her in 2 weeks because that's when she'll be able to do it. Yeah,
That's gonna be so I'm gonna cry.
yeah.
She's incredible.
I
Wow.
love one thing that's really good about doing podcasts is like it's just another opportunity to hear more from people. Like just dive deeper because you don't get an opportunity to maybe hear as much as you would have liked from them. And like,
Yeah.
it's just more time with Lila, more time with you, more time with everybody. Like I didn't know all this about Zimbabwe if we didn't do this conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing one with Lila, podcast with her because she recently moved to Kamisero, I think. It's a better place than where she was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's kind of transitioning into moving. So once she settled down, um,
Is she's still with AMLD though, right?
I gotta ask her. I'm thinking she is. Yeah,
Well, whatever she does, she's gonna do amazing things.
I know she's like a workhorse who also like is always calm in the midst of everything. She's just
Yeah,
that's a powerful combination.
and she's so funny and so sweet.
Yeah, for real. She was so nice. I didn't see like a hint of anger or frustration or anything from her. She was just ready to answer a question and I was
Always.
asking like so many questions about random stuff and she answered them all. And everybody at Cordero's was nice. Like the building that me and Steven and Grayson were in, there were um like another family, a few other people staying there, and every time we crossed paths in the hallway it was all smiles and the language barrier. Can't really say much, but you just relied on facial expressions and body language, I guess. But they were super nice. I forgot this one person's name. She was so nice. She treated me like she was my Portuguese aunt, like that I knew forever. um God, I forgot her name, but we couldn't communicate because of the language barrier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like just comforting to be there with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So the two words slash phrases that I knew was obligata because I was like always being used,
Yeah.
and then bon dia because like everyone would say that like when you passed each other,
Yeah, bonjour.
and me not realizing that people would mainly say that when we passed each other in the morning, and any time I got into an Uber,
Mhm.
regardless of the time of day, I was like, bon dia. And then like the one person, like finally the last night, it's like 9 at night, and then the person was like, Bona tarde? And I was like, and I was with Hope, and she was like, have you been saying Bon Dia all the time? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's good morning.
Wait,
I
who
was like,
said that?
oh,
Who said that to you?
Hope. She was like,
Oh,
she was like, that's not good day. That's good morning. I was like,
yeah. I mean,
oh,
they got the idea of what you're trying to say.
like I definitely said that like in the restaurant, like for our like farewell dinner, like it's like the servers. I was like, bon dia,
Yeah,
like
that's hilarious.
7:30 at night.
I think I was saying it wrong. Initially, I was saying bongiero, which is not even anything. And so it's like,
Like, what is this
yeah,
word?
it sounded French. But then Sarah was like, it's bongia, dude. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. I started saying bongia. And then I learned a few like names for animals, but they're not even Portuguese. Lila told me like they're like some indigenous language or dialect. Like jararaca.
Ooh.
Jararaca is not a Portuguese word for that snake that we saw. It's some other dialect or something. You remember that lady that was playing the guitar at AMLD?
Yeah.
That was such a good song that I had a great big plate of amazing food. I was listening to the song. I was just like, I reached this point of like, this inspiration just hit me in like a flash. And everybody was, you guys all went to this other building to hear Luis Paulo talk about something, but I was just like listening to her play her guitar and eating my food. And afterward, I asked her what the song was because it was so good. Like, I don't know if it was because of the location or whatever, but the music coming from her guitar sounded so amazing that after she was done, I asked her like, "What is that song?" And she wrote it in my journal for me somewhere. But it's a Portuguese song, and I searched it up on YouTube, and I listened to it. Every time I listen to it, it just transports me back into that
That's
moment.
the
Yeah.
best.
How do I not remember the name? Because I actually know how to sing the whole song. That's all the Portuguese I know. It's a
The
song. I
song.
didn't expect to be so immersed into the culture of like Brazilian culture. I thought this was mainly going to be about conservation and biology. I'm glad it was also culture infused in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. Dancing with the owner of Cordero's, like in the circular fashion, going
That was
in the bridge and stuff. That was an amazing night.
so fun.
I suck at dancing. That's like one of my fears. Like I'd rather go into a tub of ice water than go show people how I dance. So like dancing was something I think I needed to do something that's uncomfortable. But Jackie just kind of like threw
Good.
me in there and like she made me look good. She knew what she was doing out there. So all I did was I did that thing where you just hold her and she spins and she comes back. So it looked like I knew what I was doing for that part. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I can say that I danced in Brazil. Did not think I would be dancing there at all. So that was awesome.
No, me
Yeah.
either.
The old lady is so nice. I don't know if you got to meet the owner, the lady who could play the instruments and sing.
So much
She's,
talent.
oh yeah. I wish I could talk to her. Like, I wish I knew Portuguese. I wanted to, like, ask her some questions about, like, the farm and whatnot. Let's see here. These are the awkward moments where I, as the podcast host, have to fill in the silence with another
Yeah, pull it together, man.
with another open-ended question. Well, this was a 1.5 hour podcast. This is a pretty decent size. Yeah, awesome. And yeah, feel free to want if you want to do it again. I'm open to doing whoever wants to do this again because I don't have like a long list of guests ready right now.
When
Um,
I start doing cool things with my life,
mhm.
absolutely.
Honestly, yeah, that and if I can find the time to get a good lineup of questions ready. So that was my fault. But next time,
I was early. Next time,
yeah.
I will be just on time
Okay, no
instead of
problem.
early.
You have work tomorrow that you're preparing for? Okay.
Heck yeah.
Wait, sorry, where do you currently work?
What a good question.
Yeah.
So I am a guest experience keeper for an AZA facility that I will gladly tell you the name of via text.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it then. I'm trying to think if I should say any open or like ending statements to the viewers. All right, I'm just gonna say,
You want a joke?
yeah, sure, a joke
Joke.
to finish
Okay.
off the podcast.
What did a gorilla say to its girlfriend?
I have no idea.
You're a primate.
That's good. That is good.
Thank you very much.
Prime mate. Awesome. Okay, I think that's a good way to end it. I gotta find out a sentence to say that just wraps everything up. But anybody who watched the video, thanks for watching it. Um,
Thanks.
I'm sure you guys learned a lot about Africa and everything we discussed from Mikayla here. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next podcast on Wild Primal. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, I think.
It was so good to see you.
Yeah, it was great to see you too. It reminds me of those like super long conversations we had on the bus.
The bus
Yeah.
combos, yes.
Where we went deep into why I like Eminem or like Joe Rogan. And
Yes.
stuff. That was I don't think I ever talked that deep about why I admire certain art. I wish I could capture that conversation because I feel like I got some good points across. But yeah, it was great.
Deep sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Mikayla. This is great. I'm gonna let you get back to doing what you're gonna do. And until next time, if you want, we can do this again. Yeah. All right. Peace out.
Have a wonderful, great day.
Thanks. You as well.
Thanks. Bye.